Have you ever reopened a decision and then instantly regretted it? Not because the topic was wrong, but because the conversation turned so tense within a matter of minutes. Maybe it was about money, or a potential move, or parenting, or work schedules. A commitment you both agreed to months ago. It felt safe, but then all of a sudden, something felt unsettled. So you brought it up again. And instead of clarity, you got defensiveness, a wall. Today, we're continuing the Choosing Together series. This series is about decision-making as a team. Not agreement through pressure, not compromise through resentment, but coming together to a common decision in unity. And today, we're talking about something subtle, but very powerful. How to reopen decisions safely. Because decisions in long-term relationships are rarely just a one-time event. The truth is, life happens, circumstances change, energy shifts, new information appears, and sometimes something that once felt right is no longer aligned and appropriate. The problem isn't reopening a decision. The problem is how we go about reopening that decision. So let me ask you something gently. When you have revisited past decisions, how did it feel? Did you open with frustration, with curiosity? Because let's face it, there's a big difference between saying, we need to redo this, it's not working, and I've been reflecting on our decisions about this. Can we explore how it's feeling now? The first implies failure. The second invites an open conversation. And reopening decisions safely begins with emotional framing. So the first principle is to honor the original intention. Before questioning the outcome, acknowledge the good faith effort behind it. We made this decision with the best understanding and intentions we had at the time. And that will protect the dignity of your significant other and yours as well. The second principle is that you want to describe your experience, not your partner's mistake. So instead of saying, that was a very bad choice, you can say, I'm noticing that this has been harder for me than I expected. And that language keeps ownership where it belongs. Third principle is to return to your shared purpose. What were we trying to protect? What were we trying to build? When couples reconnect to share values, defensiveness decreases. And ultimately, it's not about undoing each other, it's about refining together. Sometimes, what's needed is a reversal, not just an adjustment. A slight shift in structure, or a new boundary, or clear expectations. Another important part of reopening decisions safely is timing. Don't just reopen a sensitive decision in the middle of a tension or a disagreement or, God forbid, a fight. You need to choose a calm moment. You need to choose a moment where you feel stable. Because when your nervous system is activated, revisiting decisions feel like an attack. And here is something else that's crucial. You must allow space for both perspectives to exist fully before moving toward a resolution. Too often, couples try to solve before they've understood. Consultation requires patience. So, you must define the concern very clearly, then you must listen without interrupting, then you must reflect back to your partner what you've heard, and then you may explore options. And remember that alignment is deeper than agreement. You may not both get everything that you prefer, but you both need to be concerned with the direction where this is going. And investing in finding a peaceful, harmonious way to address it. So, is there a decision in your relationship that feels unfinished? Not necessarily dramatic, but just unresolved. Sometimes simply naming that is the beginning of healing. And if you'd like to reflect on how decision-making has been making you feel lately, I encourage you to check out our Accordia Communication Mirror tool that can help you to do just that. It will help you to understand the patterns that in your relationships over time. Not to grade your decisions or to judge your own marriage or relationship, but really to observe how you can, over time, learn to communicate more effectively, learn to put your own ego and shortcomings aside for the betterment of your family and your relationship. If there's a specific decision that you're struggling with, always remember you can reach out to us. It'll be our pleasure to help you reach your goal and to gain clarity. So, decision making is rarely theoretical. It's a deeply personal thing. And reopening decisions safely does require a degree of humility. It requires you saying, I may not have seen everything clearly. It requires you saying, I trust us enough to revisit this calmly. And once couples can do that, trust will deepen because safety is increased. And safety is the foundational piece when it comes to collaborative decisions. So in the next episode of Choosing Together, we're going to talk about something that many couples quietly experience, and that is decision fatigue in marriage. Because sometimes the tension isn't about the disagreement. It's about the exhaustion from constant choices. My wife talks about this all the time. And learning how to manage that will change everything, not just the emotional tone of the relationship, but everything. So stay with us. This is Accordia Way. On behalf of my colleague, Coach Suzanne, and myself, thank you for your trust. So excited that you are choosing to learn to decide together, even when circumstances evolve, even when things are challenging. So keep up the good work and all the best.